Hey everyone. So for us to get to where we're trying to go, for us to achieve, what we're trying to achieve, a good perspective and a good mindset, you can't do it without those things. And we're going to talk a ton about those things going forward on this channel, particularly on a future video soon enough. Today though, I want to give you something that's kind of more tangible, something that is practical, something that you can apply today. Admittedly, it's pretty simple, but it's also vitally important. Hopefully this helps you start getting the ball rolling today. So it's important to remember that improvements aren't just bringing down what you owe. It's not just bringing down your debt. It's not just pressing that pay button. It's oftentimes taking steps that are necessary for you to get to that point in the first place. So that might be organizing, researching, doing the work that leads to you getting paid so that you can make that payment. Anything that's keeping you from pressing that pay button. If you can kind of conquer that, well, then that's an improvement, or it's a step forward at least. Now we have to remember that because you might not see tangible wins right off the bat or as many as you like, but there's no skipping steps with this. So first things first, or first two things first. One, do you know how much you owe? Two, do you know who you owe that to? Now it seems really simple, and on the surface it is, but I had $50,000 of debt ambush me once right after I thought I kind of figured out what I had to pay, and I felt good about it, and I kind of got it organized, and I made a couple extra payments, and I was like, you know what, I'm actually making a little bit of progress. $50,000 came and kicked me right in the teeth. I didn't realize that my dad had some Parent Plus loans, and I don't think he realized it either, and he wasn't paying those. So side note here, you'll find this out as we go along, but I was terribly irresponsible going through high school and into college. I just didn't understand money, so I ended up with a ton of, that's how I ended up with this kind of burden here, this obscene number of student loans. Out of the 125,000 or so that me and my wife have, just about 100,000 of those are mine alone. What are you doing? You having fun? Before we keep going, if you could just like or subscribe or comment or share, if you do all four of those things, boy, thanks. So listen, moving on. How do we find out how much we have in student loans? How do you find that out? You'd think there'd be one easy kind of destination, or that these student loan providers would make it really easy because they want you to pay them. They have their hooks in you anyway, so they don't care if you can't find them or not. It's probably to their benefit that you don't for a long time, so that the interest accrues. The federal government makes it a little less tough to find out what you owe. You go to this website. I'm going to link it below. It's a legit website. You put in your information. If you don't have an account, you create one. It's free. And trust me, they know how much you owe them. So private loan providers suck exponentially worse than the government in this sense. It's frustrating, like I said, how little effort they put into making it transparent. This information isn't hard to attain for them. They just don't make it easy for you. So what you can do is first off, call the schools that you went to. They'll know who you owe at least. They might not know how much you owe, but they'll know who you owe. You can call who you owe. And even if your loans belong to someone else now by some weird happenstance, which happened to us with one provider, whoever you contact will be able to tell you where your loans are now. Now, if you want kind of a flawless, as close to one-stop shop as you can get, your credit report is actually the best way to go about that. I'm going to link below another safe, legit link, and you run a credit report. They'll tell you exactly what you owe, how much you owe, to who you owe, and I'm not just talking student loans. I'm talking credit cards, I'm talking car loans, I'm talking the lunch lady. The entire thing is in there for you. So anyways, like I said, this is a super basic step one, and you might be saying, this is why I clicked on this stupid video. Yeah, it is, because if you don't do this part already, even if you think you have all your loans in one place, like I thought I did, I'm assuming that everyone watching this is as stupid as I was. So if you think you're there yet, just give it one last look. Make sure you have everything in order so that you can really plan your attack on how you're going to do this. You don't want any nasty surprises down the road. So this is simple, yeah, but it's important. It's a building block. And the next video on this practicality kind of kick here is a little bit more involved, and I want to save enough time for that. So like always, guys, thanks for watching this one. Again, if you could like, if you could comment, if you could share, if you could subscribe. Is there anything else that people do on these things?
Do me a favor, like, share, comment, subscribe.
Maybe
and I'll see you guys next time.
maybe throw a comment in there,
That's
and
what
I'll see
I
you
do.
guys next time.